Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic and a very exciting puzzle. I don't know, I've lost count actually of the number of recommendations we've had for this puzzle in the last 24 hours. I think it's a new puzzle. It's by grkles. It's called Stepping Stones. And today I did remember to have a look on Logic Masters Germany before I turned on the webcam. And basically the comments are eulogistic. I snipped them. You can see there are some very well-known names if you're familiar with the world of Sudoku in this list. Wisty, Qodec, Snooker Fan, Virtual, Andrew Sarkis. These are all people who know a thing or two. And when Qodec is saying a puzzle is mesmerising, you really have to sit up and pay attention. So we are going to have a look at this 100% rated 4-star out of 5 difficulty puzzle in a moment or two's time. I can tell you with some certainty I have never seen this rule set before, but even though this is a chaos construction, which means we are not given the 3x3 boxes, or indeed the shape of the areas that perform the role of having the digits 1 to 9 in them in this puzzle. The rule set is very short given that constraint, so this is an intriguing one, and as I say, we'll have a look at it in a moment or two's time. A couple of things to mention first. Normally on Friday mornings, Mark and I, for the last year or nearly year and a half, I think, we've released a video which we call a masterclass, where we solve the Times crossword. Now tomorrow we both have prior commitments in the morning, which means it's going to be difficult for us to do the video. So what I'm proposing to do, hopefully I'll do the video probably tomorrow afternoon, but rather than release it in an afternoon slot, where it tends to cannibalize the evening videos, we'll probably release it tomorrow on Saturday morning. So it should be there, but might have to wait a day. Apologies for that. I know for some people it really does. It's an important start to their weekends and things like that, but there's just no way around it logistically. I don't think either of us can do it tomorrow. We debated staying up late into the night and trying to record it at sort of in the early hours of tomorrow morning, but I think that's just going to be impractical. So sorry, there will be a small delay on that video, but hopefully it will appear. Next, what else? Well, speaking of crossword videos, over on Patreon, Mark has released a bonus crossword video in which he tackles a listener crossword, which these are always great. I think that they're really good videos, especially if you're not a novice at cryptic crosswords, but you want to know how to take the next stage and investigate the really difficult puzzles. The listener crossword is the place to do that. And Mark's recorded a video, I think, of a puzzle called Rash by Serpent. So that's over there now, as indeed is my solve of a Fistemafel. Have I got that here? There we go. I found it. It's there. So this Japanese crossroads puzzle is a new puzzle by Fistemafel, but the example puzzle is already fascinating. So how do you get from that blank grid to there? Well, I had a go at that, and let me tell you, it took me about 40 minutes to work it out. But that's over on Patreon as well, and this is the real thing, which I will attempt at some point. But there's some comment down here that says it took somebody hours and hours to solve it. Oh, that comment disappeared now. I'm sure I saw a comment that said it took. Oh, there we go. It took me 3 hours to finish this Sudoku. So if I need to leave a 3-hour window, when I'm not going to get interrupted, that's really difficult. That's really difficult to find a big chunk of time in the middle of the days where there's no chance of gaps appearing. So as and when that happens, I will have a go at that puzzle, but I haven't had a go at it yet. Now, what else? That's all Patreon news. Oh, let's do some announcements. Let's do birthdays. Karina, over there in Denmark, you turned 33 on Saturday, I think, and I believe Saturday might also be the 10-year anniversary of your relationship with your fiance Anders. So many congratulations on that. I thank you for sending us the cake picture as well. And just delighted actually to hear that the channel helps you to find sort of a place for logic and numbers that you enjoy. So, Karina, many happy returns, and and congratulations on your anniversary. I hope the cake is good. Also for Saturday, Aaron and Erica over there in Louisiana, twins, are turning 30. And I know this because Aaron's wife Miranda wrote to us and also revealed. No, I can tell you. Well, no, I can't tell you what she's bought you, Aaron, because you're going to see this before Saturday if you watch every day. I can't reveal birthday presents early, so I won't. But I know you're getting a good birthday present. I hope I'm not overstating things now, and you're going to expect a brand new Ferrari or something. It's probably not as good as that, but nearly. Anyway, then Dylan, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your housemate Maddie wrote to us and told us you were obsessed with the channel. Well, thank you, Dylan, for being obsessed with it. And I hope you have a great birthday today with, of course, lots of chocolate cake. Or is it your birthday tomorrow, actually? Oh, I'm all over the place with my birthdays. But Dylan, it might be tomorrow. But what isn't tomorrow? What, in fact, was last month yesterday was the birth of Derek and Sarah's son. Now, Derek will be known to some of you as the constructor Directionary, whose puzzles I've tackled many times on the channel. And Derek and Sarah, I was absolutely thrilled to read the news that that you'd had a baby, and I was somewhat astonished to hear that you hadn't been put off naming your son Simon. Because there's that weird guy on the internet who solves Sudoku. I mean, if anyone had much exposure to him, I'm sure they wouldn't call their child Simon. But Derek and Sarah, many congratulations on the birth of Simon. I'm delighted for you. I hope you're managing to get some sleep. But that made my day yesterday when I read your email, Derek. Now, that said and done, let's have a look at Stepping Stones by grkles. I haven't done a grkles puzzle for ages. These are the rules of the puzzle. Fill the grid such that each row column, an orthogonally connected 9-cell region, contains each of the digits 1 to 9 with no repeats. Region borders must be deduced, though 1 is given. Okay, so we're given one region border there, but that's all we're given. So the regions can be anywhere and can be any shape, except they have to be orthogonally connected. So let's just deal with that. That is 7 cells. So for example, that is not a possible region of 9 cells in the puzzle, because although it contains 9 cells, this cell here is not orthogonally connected to the other green cells. It only connects diagonally at a point, so that's not sufficient for an orthogonal connection. And now get this, there is only two more sentences of rules. Clues outside the grid give the sum of the first digit seen in each successive region in that row or column. And the summed digits always appear in increasing order. So if we look at this row, what that is saying is there's going to be some region here, isn't there? Let's give it a colour. And it's going to totally depend on the shape of the regions. Let's imagine there was a region here that was that shape, an elephant shape. And then let's say there was another region here that was that shape. I don't know how quite to describe that shape, but it is 9 cells large. And then let's say there was a normal region there, a 3 by 3 region. And then let's say there was another region here. That look like that. Right, now I think what the rule is saying is that this 23 clue is summing this cell, which is the first digit seen in the green region, this cell, which is the first digit seen in the yellow region, this cell, which is the first digit seen in the blue region, and this cell, which is the first digit seen in the red region. But in order to get to 23, this digit would have to be the smallest, because these grey cells have to appear in increasing order. It's an absolute, and that's it. That is all the rules. It is an absolutely startling one, this. Stepping stone, so I guess you're stepping to the first seen cell from each region in the clue types. do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I don't really know where to look. I imagine it's up here somewhere. There's more clues up there. But let's just check. What does 7 mean here? So 7 means that... Well, no, that is interesting a bit. Because there can't be that many regions in the bottom row. There could be there are a maximum of 3 different regions in the bottom row. Because 7 as a clue... maybe we should think about the 3 actually. But 7 as a clue, if we think about how many different Sudoku numbers could add up to 7, it would be a maximum of 3 different numbers. 1, 2 and 4. Now, so what that means is this could be a 1, and then there would be some region here with a 1, and then there could be a region with a 2 here, and then a region with a 4, but they'd have to go 1, 2, 4. Or, I mean actually, could you just have... Yeah, you could, couldn't you? I could just have, I think, a 7, and then the whole row is a region. I don't see what's wrong with that. So maybe, okay. I don't know, it's interesting as well, like 17, 23, 23, 23 is 6, 8, 9, 17 is 8, 9. 30 is 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 down here. So in column 1 there are a maximum of 2 regions. Yes. Okay, so this digit is either... This can't be a 2 actually. That's interesting. So this digit is 1 or 3, I think. Because if it's 3, then what we're saying is there is only one region in column 1, and that digit is a 3. And that explains why we've got a 3 outside the grid. But if this is a 1, then what we're saying is that there's a 2 somewhere in the column. Say it was there, and then we'd have this sort of effect, with this being a 2, this being a 1. And this is why this can't be a 2, because if we did it the other way round, then we're not increasing, are we? We have to have this sort of thermometer effect where the sum digits are always appearing in increasing order. Here they'd be appearing in decreasing order. So that's wrong. So actually this square is 1 or 3. Let's make this green. So so this is the first region we're going to build down this column. Now the 30 clue is going to have quite a few regions in it. It's going to have, yeah, it really is going to have quite a few regions in it. In fact, if that's a 3, no, that's fine. All you've got to do is make sure they increase. I was thinking if that's a 3, 27 left. So we'd have to have 4 more regions at least. But the first digit in the region after the 3 would have to be bigger than 3. So it would be like 4, 5, 6, 7 or something like that. But obviously that doesn't add up to enough, so we'd have to increase the gaps somehow. So there are at least 4 regions to the right of green, whether it's a 1 or a 3. And that means that there are... Yeah, okay, I see. I think I can do something here. So, I might be wrong about this, but here is what I'm thinking about. What I'm thinking about is because row 1 contains at least 5 regions. Yeah, the only way it could contain 4 regions is if the numbers at the start of those regions were 6, 7, 8, 9 in order, and this is not a 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are at least 5 regions in row 1. Now, because there are 5 regions in row 1, each of those regions, however many cells they take in row 1, can't live only in row 1. So each of those 5 regions is going to spill into row 2, which means that there are at least 5 regions in row 2. However, 17 cannot be 6 regions, can it? Because 6 different Sudoku digits will add up to at least 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sum to 21. So there are exactly 5 regions in the top row. There are exactly 5 regions in row 2. But here is the kicker. I am therefore summing 5 digits to get to 17. But the first digit on this side, in fact this digit, what is that digit? It can't be a 2, can it? Because if it was a 2, then I'm summing 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, which add up to 20, which is bigger than 17. So the first digit summed from this direction must be a 1 in this position. And therefore that is a... well, that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Now, does that have to be green? I think it does. Because if it wasn't green, I'd have 6 different regions in row 2. Because I know this region, so say this wiggled out this way and was different from this. I think this is just the corollary of what we've just been saying. There is still another 4 regions to come, at least, in row 1, which all have to spill into row 2. And now I have 6 regions in row 2, which we've just said is impossible. So that doesn't work. So this is definitely Maverick's just about to fly past. This is a 3, this is a 1. Oh, and if this is a... oh, hang on, Simon. If this is a 3, there are no more regions in this column. So that's another way we could have just proved that. That's the 3 is not summing any other regions. So this is just a 9-cell region, and we've done a region straight away. So, well, I want to say that that's now a 2. Because if it isn't, it's at least a 3. And we know that there are 4 more regions to come in row 2. And if we start with 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, we've broken the 17 cap, so that is a 2. Let's make that yellow. This digit is part of a 9, but it's bigger than 3. I see. Right. Look at column 2 now. This is actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad so far in terms of how difficult it is. In column 2, there are at least 2 regions, and we know that because of this 11 clue. So this 11 clue is definitely adding that cell, isn't it? That cannot be an 11. So somewhere up here there must be another region, at least one other region. But this digit this 9 clue therefore is adding at least 2 different numbers together. But this digit must be bigger than 3 from the row logic. So how could it not be 4? If it was, say, 5, well then the second region that's going to appear in column 2 would have to start with at least a 6, and 5 and 6 is too big. So that is a 4, and now we know, this is ridiculous, now we know there are exactly 2 regions in this column. Because the 4 is somewhere down here, there's going to be a 5, which is going to be the second region seen in this column. Oh, but hang on. Oh, something's got my spider senses tingling there. Well, that's got to be yellow. because the only other digit seen in this column is a 5. Hang on, let me think about this. No, I think okay. I'm not sure I can do much more than that. Sorry, Maverick's flying past, distracting me. Sorry, the thing that I'm thinking about is this 11, because I now know there are only two regions in this column. So whatever this digit is, it's going to add to yellow wherever yellow starts, to add up to 11. So it feels like it, and it's got to be the smaller of the digits. So it feels like this has got to be like a 3 or a 5 going with an 8 or a 6. But the 7 clue here, yes, okay, we know these two digits are in different regions, so the 7 clue is counting at least these two squares, isn't it? But this is at least a 2 now, so my option at the start, which was there were 3 regions in this row, and they went 1 here, then a 2, then a 4, doesn't work anymore because this can't be a 1. Now this therefore must be a 2, because if it was a 4, this digit would need to be higher than it from the rules, but 4 plus 5 say is more than 7. So this is 2. This digit now I want to say has to be a 5. Well, it must be. Because if it's say a 3, then I haven't got to 7 yet, and I've got to add another digit that's higher than 3 to the panoply of digitage, and that won't work. So this is a 5, and this is not yellow, because we know that there are 2 regions in this column. So as this is 5, there is a 6 somewhere. But hang on, now I'm really confused. The 4 has to see the 5. Oh, I see. No, that's fine. Right, this is huge. Yeah, this 4 has to see the 5. It's because so the only digit in orange that the 9 can see is that 5. So none of these can be orange, but all of them therefore must be yellow. Otherwise there would be 3 regions in the column. So this is a 5. This now is a 6, being the first digit that the 11 sees from the bottom. This is absolutely remarkable. This is remarkable. Now what's going on here? So now in the bottom row, all of this is orange, because otherwise we're going to break the 7 total. So now there's a 2 somewhere. In orange, 2 has not appeared in orange, so one of these digits is a 2, but it will be a sticky up, wherever it goes, it's a sticky up orangey thing, which is a technical term that I have invented. The sticky up orangey thing will be seen by the 23 clue, but it will be a 2, so it can't be. Oh, I see. No, it can. So that could be a 2, and then there could be a 1 here, and the 1 could extend out. So, okay, that's fine. All right, but what that means is that this digit is either a 1 or it is the 2 that sticks out of the orange. So this square is 1 or 2, and it's either orange or a new colour that we haven't invented yet. And we can draw a line between those 2 squares. And somewhere in yellow is a 5, so there is a 5 up here where yellow grows. Now, what do we do with this information is the next question. I know what we do. How could that... Yeah, sorry, the 13 clue will instantly be broken. If this is... Imagine this square is not orange. That's the way to think about it. If this square is not orange, then we know that this square is a 1, because there is a 2 that will be seen somewhere in this row by the 23 clue. So this has to be a 1 so that the 2 is not, so that the numbers can ascend. But if this is a 1, what's this digit? That now has to be a 0, because this is meant to ascend in the column. So this square is actually a 2, and it's orange. And now I've done another region. And now I'll make that blue. And that benefits from the only sort of black line we were given. So that is blue. This square is at least a 3. Do we know? It can't be. Okay, here is an interesting point. No jokes about me, thank you. The level of interest I can invoke. If this was, well, this 6 might be the first digit seen that's yellow from the 23 clue. But if the yellow region went here, we know that this would be a yellow 5. So that means that the digit that is seen in the yellow here is a 5 or a 6. So this can't be bigger. Say this was, I don't know, 7. It can't be 7 because then the 6 will be seen but will be lower than the digit that's seen here. So I think this has to be 3, 4 or 5. But if it's 5, we're not going to get to 23, are we? No, we're not. If this is 5, then we're going to see the 6, we're going to see this, which could be a 9, but we only get to 22. So that's not a 5. This is a 3 or a 4. So okay, this is, I think what we're learning here is a bit interesting. We're learning that there is another region in those squares. Because if there wasn't, if all of these squares were blue and yellow, then we're only going to see a 2, a 4, a 6 maximum, and this would have to be an 11, which won't work. So there is some new region in there somewhere, which is going to have to start with 4 or 5. Okay, I don't know quite how we do that. 21 here, 13. So we know this is a new region, isn't it? That square, because that can't be blue. Because for that to be blue, blue would have to ring a 9-cell region and get back here, and that's impossible. Blue could never do that. The most efficient region this could be is that shape. Or the most, let's say, it just is impossible. To try and make this blue, these would have to be blue. This would all have to ring a 9-cell region. So say we do that, and you can see, hopefully it's very clear actually. I'll just show you. That, oops, that's about as efficient as we could do it. And there is no way that there are only 9 cells in the blue region I've just drawn there. There are many, many more. So that doesn't work. So let's get rid of this, and make this purple. So that's a new region. And this square, but that could be a 1, couldn't it? If it's not a 1, it's at least a 3. But this could be... We could have a situation where this is 6 and this is 7. And then the whole of this column is purple, which is probably fine. Ooh, I mean, I tell you one thing. It's fairly incredible to me that this has a unique solution. I mean, admittedly, I haven't got everything I'm going to get out of some of the clues, but it's very surprising that there is enough information here to force a unique solution, to me at least. 21, I mean, that could be 6, 7 and 8 in the regions being seen. 23, I wanted 20, oh, I suppose that digit's quite big. That digit can't be 1, 2 or 3, can it? So that's at least a 4. So that has to be at least a 5. Oh, no, hang on, it can't be 5. Oh, hang on, this could be where we're meant to look. Right, what's going on here? So this is at least a 4, but then this square can't be 4, 5 or 6, so that is at least a 7. Well, how's that? I think this is going to have to be 6, 8, 9. That's my gut reaction. Because there can't be 4 regions now in this row. I mean, that's perhaps the way to think about it. If there are 4 regions, and this is at least a 7, then the next region's going to be an 8, and the next region's going to be a 9, and 7, 8 and 9 already add up to 24. So there are exactly 3 regions, so we need 3 different Sudoku digits that add up to 23, and they are 6, 8 and 9, and we know the order. So we've got to go 6, 8, and then somewhere along here. Well, when I say somewhere along here, no, there are not many places along here where the 9 can go, because this, either the 9 is there, or this is the yellow 5. So this is a 5 or a 9. And then the 9 is in one of those 2 squares in this row. And there are no other regions, are there? Because otherwise the rules are broken. So the problem is that could be the same as that region. Alright, what we'll do is we'll get rid of that. And we'll make all of those purple. So that I don't confuse myself by thinking I'm not going to label this because it could join purple or it could be a new colour. But these are all definitely purple. So what on oh, I see. I've got to, hang on. No, it's going to be something to do with the fact I've got a whole stack load of regions that I've got to put into row 1. I've not really thought through that. I started to think about it in the context of the 30 and the 17 clue, but then I sort of got distracted. So I've got at least 3 more regions here. But hang on. Hang on, I've got a problem here. What's going on? Hang on, what's going on here? Because I know that there are 3 new colours to come in row 1, don't I? That are not yellow, because there must be 3 new digits to contribute to my total of 30. Now, the problem is this is a purple wall. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that this square here, I mean, that's the way to think about it. There you go. If it's yellow, it's yellow. These are the knowledge bombs that you can extract from Cracking the Cryptic videos. If it's yellow, it is yellow. And this is therefore a purple wall, in the sense that no region can breach it that isn't purple or yellow. And if it's not yellow, it's purple, and there's another purple wall. So what I'm sort of saying is that up here, well, I'm saying that purple, I think I'm saying purple has to get to the top row. That might be all I'm saying. That might be all I'm saying. Because there's some region here, some region here, and some region here. It's 3 new regions that are not yellow and green in the top of the grid. But that's 27 cells of regions. Those squares are 21 cells of regions. So the only way that can work is if one of the regions up here is purple and joins with this. And then we'll get 21's worth of regions here. I see, yeah. And then it just depends. Yes, that... Okay, but because purple has to get to the top row, how could this be purple? If this is purple, now how do we ever fill these cells? Because there are 3 regions to come here. which if one of them isn't purple can't fit, because there's only 21 cells there. And we can use up one of those cells with a yellow. So I've still got to fill, or I could put the yellow here, it doesn't matter. The point is that I haven't got 27 cells available here. I could fill a couple of them with a purple. But there are 3 regions up here, none of which could be purple. So 3 new regions can't fit into this space, it's impossible. So I think this square is yellow, and therefore it's 5, which makes this 9. And I think that there's a purple in the top row. Now, let me think about this, sorry. So there are 3 colours to come in the top row. And providing one of those is purple, which I can only just achieve, actually, because I've got 6 cells here. But providing one of them is purple, how's that? Oh, I see. I can see it now. Right. I was thinking, so what I've appreciated now is that in order to get purple to the top row, to be one of the 3 colours that must exist in the top row, and to fill this space so that it doesn't break, how do I do that and not leave an incorrect count? This is beautiful. You have to do that, because that's the only way I can get a purple. I've got 3 cells to play with to get purple into the top row. The only way I can do it and leave behind 2 9-cell regions. So say I didn't do that, say I did that. Well, that's fine, but that region there is not 9 cells. It won't work. So you have to do that. Ah, no you don't. No you don't. You could do that. Bobbins. Ah, didn't think of that. Well, I have now, and that's probably more likely, isn't it? Yes, is the answer to that question. And that would be the only digit seen from this direction. So what we get, and then we get 2 3x3s. So I think there are 2 3x3s in the top row, and a purple, to give us our count of 3 digits. Do we need a 9 or not? So yeah, oh, hang on. Yes, we do. Sorry, I hadn't, well, okay, so that does it. Oh, that's beautiful. Right, this is wrong. Because let's think about how we're going to get to our 30 total. We know that there cannot be more. Well, there are exactly 3 new regions to come in row 1. And those 3 digits have to sum to 30 minus 7, which is 23. So they are 6, 8, and 9. Now, if we make this the only purple seen from this direction, this has to be a 9, and it would clash with this 9. So it cannot be that. So it is that. Now this is a region. This is a region. Running out of colours here. I'll make that red. Let's pencil these in. We can look. This is so spectacularly brilliant, grkles, by the way, because I can fill half these digits in now. That's a 6 from what we just said. That's an 8. That's a 9. Goodness only knows what's going on in the 21 clue. Okay, so everything's working, I think. Okay, we're going to have to be a little bit careful with the 21 clue, actually. Hang on, that's a scene. Oh, I see. That's beautiful. Right, here is a lovely point. What about this? Is that in a region that we have not coloured yet? Well, it might be blue. I don't know if it's blue. But the point is that from the 21 clues, this 21 clues perspective, it's definitely a new digit in a region that's not been seen yet. Because red and then purple and then this digit, they're all going to be seen as the first digit in their respective regions. So this must be a 2. This must be a 1. So that we ascend 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe that didn't do quite as much as I thought it might. So here, what are those squares in the top row? 2, 5, 7, I want to say. That's not 2. We're going to have to... Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to be very careful in column 9 here. Let me just do some 3, 4, 7. Yeah. Okay, so, well, yeah, let's think about this. So, 13 is the total. So all of these have to be the same region. Because if they weren't, we'd be adding this digit to 2 more digits, to this digit, to this digit. That's 5 different digits, and the minimum number 5 different digits can add up to is 15 if they were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So all of these have to be the same. That's the first thing I'm going to note. Now those squares are not blue, which is interesting, because again, if these were blue, we looked at this before, we'd have to ring blue around a 9-cell region, and blue would belong with the 9 cells. So this is a new colour. I'll make it lime green. These are all the same, but we're still having to sum now 4 different digits, not including a 2, to add up to 13. Well, they have to be 1, 3, 4, and 5 then. So this has to be 1, this has to be 3, that has to be 4, and that has to be 5, and that has to be 7, that has to be 2, and that has to be 5. This is a spectacularly brilliant puzzle. It is ridiculous, grkles. I don't know if this rule set, you know, has longevity in the set. What I mean by that is you might have just, you might have just thought of a rule set and nailed it perfectly, so that there's no point anyone ever making a puzzle like this again. But this is so lovely to solve. Now, can we do anything here? The answer is I don't know yet. But we did say, didn't we? Well, I was wondering whether I'm meant to think about the 23 clue now. I have a horrible feeling I'm meant to think about Sudoku. What are these squares? 1, 3, 7, and 9, maybe? There's a 2 in one of those squares. There must be a 2 in red. Have we... Oh, we haven't done the 17 clue. We can probably get these, or at least some traction with those digits. How could that not be a 3? No, that must be a 3, because 4, 5, and 6 plus 2 and 1 is 18, so that must be a 3. Now, this could be... Oh no, this can't be 4. Because if this was 4, this would be 7, which it's not allowed to be. So that's going to be 5, and that's going to be 6. And look, it's filling in. It's actually weird, this, how the flow of it is just... It's ridiculously good. What are these squares now? They're 7 and 9. So I now know what these squares are, in theory at least. They're 2, 4, and 8. They're all even. I should know what that digit is, because it's the missing digit that we've not put in purple yet. That's a 6. So that's a 7 or a 9. That's not a 2, is it? Actually, I think I'm going to get rid of the corner pencil marks. I'm not sure we're going to need them at this rate. 4 is looking at that digit, so that's become a 3. So that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 7. This is a 3, this is a 1. Wow, okay. 6, look, it can't be lime green because we've already had a lime green 6, so that's some other colour which can't be blue. Oh, where's 3 in yellow? That's quite a reasonably easy question. That's a 3. How many 3s have we got in the grid? Loads. Absolutely loads. I've got 7. Okay, where is 3 in orange at the bottom of the grid? I'm not sure about this, but I think it can only be here, can't it? I think everything else is looking at it. So now I must be able to get the last 3. Which, oh no, hang on, I've got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have got them all. Okay, that was the last 3. But if I've got all the 3s, I should be able to give them colours. Yes, okay, this 3 is uncoloured at the moment, and it is the 9th colour in the grid, so we might as well award it a colour as such. Now, what colour have I not? Oh, it's the black colour I've not used. I never that keen on using the black colour. I'll make this one dark green again, because it can't touch this one. So does that have to, I want to say that has to be dark green. Because if this is blue, again, we get the same problem again, that we've got to fill in somehow a 9-cell lime green region, which would have to actually be of that shape. There would be no other way to do it. And then you'd have to for this to be blue, that would have to ring that, and that is way more than 9 cells for blue, isn't it? So actually, this square is dark green, and now no region can slip between these two dark green regions, so this is all dark green. I'm probably not meant to do it this way. I'm probably meant to think about the 23 clue or the 21 clue, but I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit as I see it. That's probably got to be good. Oh, no, I was going to say that has to be green, but actually, it could be blue if blue did exactly that. That's annoying. Alright, so what is it then? Lime green obviously has got to take a lot of these squares somehow. Oh, I tell you one thing. Didn't I work out right at the start? Well, maybe not right at the start, but I worked out there was another region that wasn't blue in row 8, didn't I? Surely now that can't be lime green, because we'd have the corollary of the problem we had by making that square blue. If lime green comes in here, it has to surround and encircle a 9-cell blue region, which at its most efficient could look like that, and obviously lime green would be massive. So actually, in order to get dark green into one of those squares, which must now happen, how do we do that? Well, that one must be dark green, mustn't it? And dark green must ring the edge. And now dark green is finished. There we go. Well, okay, that's interesting, isn't it? Because now... Well, now what? Well, all of these have to be blue now. So we can think about the 23 clue, which is at the moment... Well, at the moment we've only got 11. So we need 12 more between this digit and this digit. Yeah, okay, this can't be 5. Because if this could be 5, we could have gone 5, 7 to make our 12. But we can't do that, so we have to go 4, 8. That's not 4. Where's 4 in row 5? Little bit of law of leftovers. It can't go in there. It's not able to be in either of those, so it goes here. This digit, oh, well, this digit, which is a 1 or a 7, and 9 have to make an appearance in this green region. So these squares are from 1, 7 and 9, which actually doesn't help us, but that is true. What about this column then? 3s, oh, not 3s, we've got 3s. 5s, okay, these are from 5, 7 and 9. So everything eventually is going to get resolved by this 21 clue, I think. That's going to determine the shape of the lime green and the blue regions. And at the moment, we're on a count of 6. So we need 15 more. which could be 2 regions if it was something like that. So that square and that square summing to 15, which could be 6, 9. Oh, no, it couldn't be 6, 9 because that can't be a 6. So it would have to be 7, 8. So this would have to be a 7, and that would have to be an 8, which looks fine. And the only other way of doing it, which is impossible, is with 4, 5, 6, isn't it? Because for 4, 5, 6... Oh, no, we could do 4, 5, 6, because that would be a 6. Oh, sorry. Okay, maybe 4, 5, 6 is possible. I don't think 4, 5, 6 is possible, but maybe in theory it's possible. Because you could do... Well, actually, you could do something like that, couldn't you? I hadn't thought of that. But if the blue does that, then that could even be blue. Oh. It's complicated, actually. Okay, let's forget about that then. That's just too difficult. Let's try and do Sudoku. 1, 5, 7, 9. How do we do that? That's not 1. That is not 5 or 9. Oh, in fact, look, that's a 7, that's a 9. So this is a naked single 1. Okay, so perhaps this row or this column. In fact, look at that. That column, all the odd numbers have disappeared. They've all been used. So these have got to be even numbers. And that's not 6 or 4. And that's not 6. So 6 in the column goes there. 6 has appeared in lime green, so that's blue. Bingo. Well, no, not bingo. It's not really helped, because it doesn't tell me what the colour of this is, which is, I think, the key thing we need to know. But it's a tiny win for the good guys. Right. Okay, so where should... Okay, this square is not 9. This square is not 5. This square is not 9. So where's 9 in that row? In blue, it's got to be here. This is a 5, 7 pair. This column needs 1, 2, 4, 7. Okay, I'm getting a bit pencil marky here, but hopefully you'll forgive me. I'm trying to see what's going on. That's not 4. Hang on, I don't know what I did then. I wanted to take 4 out. Okay, that's not that good, is it? I mean, oh, that square must be lime green because it's differentiated from blue by a boundary that's in the grid. Now, if that was blue, green would never be big enough, so that's lime green as well. If that's blue, again, blue is too big relative to lime green, so that's got to be lime green. But this one, I think, could be blue. Yeah, because lime green's only got 3 more cells to come. Let's try column 8. 5, 8, 9. Oh, where's 9? It's got to be there. So this is a 5, 8 pair. This digit, now from a sort of lime green perspective, is 1, 2, 4, or 7. And it's not 1 by Sudoku, so it's 2, 4, or 7. Wow, what's going on? What is it? I mean, it's a fascinating puzzle, actually. It really is clever, this. 2, 7. I know 9 is in one of those, don't I? Can I use that somehow? What about the bottom row? 4, 6, 7, and 8. Is there anything looking good there? I don't... Well, actually, that square's a bit interesting. That's only 7 or 8. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, so 4, 5, 7, 8. I'm trying. I assure you I am trying. Probably trying all your patiences. I apologise for that. I just need to get rid of 8 from here. If I can get rid of 8 from here, we're in good shape. Because then that would have to be a 6. Because it would have to be 4, 5, 6. But then, the 5. Do we know whether the 5 would be seen in blue? It depends whether this is blue or not again, doesn't it? It's so strange, this. 8's appeared. If we're in a world where this goes 7, 8, so there's only 2 regions seen from this direction, that doesn't work anymore, does it? Good grief, that's it. Because this digit would have to be the 7, because we're already on, we've got to get 15 more. And if this digit has to be the 7, it would have to be a blue 7. Because if it was a green 7, then we would see the blue digit beneath it and the orange digit. So we'd see too many digits. So this square would have to be a blue 7, but it can't be a blue 7 because the blue 7 is in one of those squares. So actually, this is remarkable because that means this is going 4, 5, 6, which means that digit is 6. This digit is 4, 7, or 8, and I don't believe it. I don't know which of those it is. There's a 5 and a 4 in this string of digits. But the 4, well, if the 4 is blue, the 5 can't be green. So the 4 has to be green, doesn't it? There has to be a green 4 because there can't be a green 5. So this square here has to be a lime green 4, which means that's lime green. These 2 squares are not 4. That's not 4. So this is 4. So that's 8. So that's 2. Now in this column, what have we not had? A 5 and a 7 pair. So this square is a 5 or a 7, which we've already had in blue. So that's lime green. Lime green is now, don't tell me it's too weak. No, lime green is finished now with that configuration. And the rest of the squares in the puzzle are blue. And this digit is a 5 to make this 21 clue work. That is absolutely ridiculous. So that's a 7, that's a 2, that's a 1 by Sudoku. These 2 squares are now a 1, 9 pair. This digit is not 1. This digit is not 1. It must resolve now, I think. This digit is not 7 because it sees that. In fact, what's going on then? 1, 9. This digit is a 5 by Sudoku, of all things. That means this square's an 8, this square's a 5, this square is a 2 or a 4, which is in blue, which means that square's an 8, that's a 2, that's a 7. So that's a 4, 4, 2. This is an 8 by Sudoku, that's a 7. 1, 9. So we've not put in 8 and 5 into, so we've got to put 8 there. That's got to be a 5. That's a 1. That's a 9, 9, 1, 7, 9, 7. That's the puzzle solved, and we can draw in that. I don't think that was illogical. Let's see. Yes. That's absolutely brilliant. My goodness me. What a puzzle that is. I mean, that's as good as you'll see. That is as good as you'll see. A brand new rule set with sick logic that was fascinating, findable. It wasn't recherche or esoteric. It was just gorgeous and very good fun. And that is how to solve Stepping Stones by grkles. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they come. What did Qodec say? That is exactly right. That is mesmerising. There, I've said it. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.